The Garden of Renewal, a tale of hope, harmony, and transformation. In a quiet, dusty town nestled in the heart of a desert valley, there lived a man named Eli. Yet amid the despair, Eli cultivated a small miracle, a garden. A patch of fierce green, stubbornly alive, stood as his testament against the desert's all-consuming thirst. Eli's garden wasn't ordinary. It bore more than tomatoes and herbs. It was a refuge of connection. Beneath sweltering sunbeams, Eli spoke to his plants as though they held the wisdom of the ancients and the promise of rebirth. But to Eli, the plants were soul healers and silent companions. In their growth, he saw a flicker of hope for a land and a life forgotten. One sweltering afternoon, as Eli tended his oasis of green, a young girl named Lila appeared. Bright as the desert sky at dusk, her curiosity bubbled over against the town's dormant air. She watched with fascination as the old man leaned gently over his plants, whispering words that seemed to hold the song of long-lost rivers and the hum of fertile dreams. "What are you doing, old man?" she asked, her voice light as a breeze after heavy heat. Eli glanced up, the sun reflecting off the creases of his face. "I'm talking to my friends," he said, with a half-smile. Lila's brows lifted high with intrigue. "Your friends? But they're plants." Eli chuckled, the sound rusty but sincere. "Maybe, but they're the ones who truly listen. You see, these plants carry the earth's stories, the ones we've forgotten in our rush to take without giving back." Lila, drawn in, wanted to understand this strange wisdom. For all her youthful energy, something in Eli's steady connection to the land resonated with a part of her spirit, yet unexplored. As the wind swirled gently through the garden, she asked, "Can you teach me? Teach me to hear what they're saying?" Eli studied her carefully, sensing her deep yearning for more than just knowledge. Finally, with a nod, he handed her a small shovel. "If you're ready to listen, then yes. But it won't just be words your ears can hear. You'll need to feel, to surrender to what the earth has to say." Eli began to teach Lila about the hum of life beneath the surface, the vibrations shared by all living things. He explained how the desert soil whispered of ancient potential, and how the land, though scarred and weary, longed to rise again if nurtured with love. In their quiet conversations with the garden, Eli and Lila used encouraging whispers, hands dipped in soil, and hearts open to the land's patient miracles. As the days passed, Lila's hands grew calloused like Eli's, though never losing the youthful spark of wonder. Slowly, the garden transformed. Tomatoes swelled round and bright, herbs released potent aromas, and even the stout cacti seemed to stand taller under their care. What had begun as Eli's defiant struggle against the desert now radiated as a sacred communion, hope budding in the arid expanse. Word of the flourishing garden spread. Skeptical at first, townsfolk began visiting, each hoping to understand the inexplicable vitality emerging from the barren soil. They brought their own seeds, perhaps not entirely believing in Eli's way, but wishing to capture the spirit transforming the air. Soon, the garden was no longer just Eli's. Women sang as they planted, men carried rich soil to neighbors, and children whispered to growing sprouts as if entrusting them with their dreams. For the first time in years, the land felt alive, not merely from green growth, but from the hum of unity among its caretakers. One evening, as golden light painted the dunes, a group of townsfolk gathered around Eli, their eyes reflecting a shared hope. They hungered not for answers, but for the ancient truth Eli so gently tended in his garden. He spoke of the earth not as an endless resource to exploit, but a living, breathing being deserving of reverence and care, a teacher patiently waiting to be heard. "It's not magic," Eli explained, his voice steady with purpose. "The earth will always give, but she needs her children to remember the language of love and respect." The townsfolk, leaning on every word, began to see themselves not as victims of a desert's wrath, but as stewards who could heal the land and their community. The realization spread like wildfire. They could reclaim balance and abundance, not through force nor greed, but through harmony and restoration. Lila and Eli's efforts sparked a movement. Neighbors once silenced by the weight of survival found their voices, their dreams intertwined with nature's resurgence. Marketplaces brimmed with the laughter and sharing of harvests, a testament to the connection blossoming both in soil and hearts. Even so, transformation wasn't without resistance. Some clung to bitterness, afraid of abandoning familiar struggles for the uncharted path of dependence on faith and community. Yet, as wildflowers threaded through the desert sand, hope became irresistible. Even skeptics joined hands to sow seeds and whispers of change. Under the infinite expanse of a starlit night, Lila turned to Eli with a question burning in her soul. What if others out there, beyond this town, are searching for their own gardens of hope? Can we teach them what we've learned? Eli, his heart aglow with the wisdom of years and hope renewed by Lila's passion, smiled knowingly. The Earth's wisdom isn't ours to own. It belongs to everyone willing to listen. But yes, we can lead them back to her voice, one seed, one soul at a time. As the years passed, the small town became a beacon, its green flourishing with a depth no desert had known for generations. Travelers came from distant lands, not for miracles, but for teachings, to learn how to listen to the song of the earth, to restore balance between humanity and nature. Lila and Eli welcomed each visitor as a seeker, sharing openly what they had discovered and learned. The transformation rippled outward, carried in the flames of love and respect for the world. Dry rivers found flow again, and the desert, though still arid and relentless, bore marks of renewed life. The story of Eli, Lila, and their transformed town weaves a parable as ancient as the winds. The curses we carry, both personal and generational, are not immovable destinies, but reflections of our disconnection from the natural rhythm of the universe. With tender hands and open hearts, those curses can be shattered, replaced by the healing vibrations of love, action, and belief. This is not just about a town, but about humanity's call to reclaim its sacred contract with the earth. The small acts, a whisper to a plant, a seed nestled into thirsty soil, can grow into revolutions. They are the fires that renew generations, the voices that call us back to balance, and the movements that transform scarcity into abundance. The desert, once feared as barren and unrelenting, has become a better friend than foe. And in this friendship with the land, a timeless truth has been rediscovered, a truth that speaks to spiritual seekers. The earth will always respond when met with humility, care, and harmony. Together, eyes turned toward the horizon, the world can be reborn, one sacred whisper at a time.